everybody, I'm the Lazy Kiwi and welcome to another speed build video. Today we are building in the world of Windenburg, and I know I've been kind of building a lot again recently. These are mainly gonna be for my save file, I think, at least, unless of course I change my mind completely on what I want to do for the save file, but at this point these are all gonna be for my save file. And you might be thinking, oh, the infamous save file, the one that's taking ages, because yes, it absolutely is. It is taking ages because I just don't build as regularly as I possibly should be if I do want to make a big save file. So I'm gonna really start thinking about what I actually want to do for this and how I want it to go and stuff. But yeah, for now, we're just still building some little houses and stuff. However, I have decided that I will no longer be doing a save file exclusive thing. It was a dream of mine to make a save file exclusive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I wanted to make a save file and have builds be exclusive to only that save file. But I don't think that's gonna really work out anymore because it is taking me such a long time to make these builds and the save file, and I really do not want to gatekeep these builds any longer. I originally thought it was gonna be a pretty fast task, obviously not really fast, but not as long as it's taking me now, and I do completely blame myself because again, I just do not build as much as I should to be making a save file. But yeah, so now some of my builds are already up on the gallery. I do think I have maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 builds on there right now, but as I've been mentioning, it's gonna take me a while to get all of them on because it is a lot of work to think of all of the descriptions, the names, count all of the rooms, load into every house to save it and put it on the gallery and stuff. So it's taking a while, but I do have a few of them up there already. So if you guys have been wanting some of my houses and you like my content and you like my houses, they are now up on the gallery. Again, not all of them, I'm still working on that, but some of them are, so you can definitely go and check that out if you're interested in downloading some of these houses yourself, including this one. This one will also be up on the gallery when this video is up, so you guys can download this house if you're interested in using it. And my gallery ID is just TheLazyKiwi, or you can just search hashtag TheLazyKiwi or hashtag TheLazyKiwi YT for YouTube. So those are the ways that you can find my builds, so definitely go check that out if you guys would like to get these houses yourselves. I know this is really exciting news for me, especially because I've been wanting to share these builds. I was so excited, but I really wanted to do the exclusive save file thing, but like I mentioned, it is just taking way too long, so no more of these builds will be available for anybody at any time, which I think is just a little bit more convenient, although now the exclusive save file thing is no longer in existence because you guys will be able to get these at any time. So as I make new builds, of course, I will be adding them to the gallery and then also adding some of my older builds alongside them because there's a lot of them. There is so many, and I have them on a bunch of different save files. So now if you load into the game, you can choose which save file to load into. For some reason, I have 3 of them that I've been building on. I don't know what was going through my head. I think how I originally wanted to do this was I do the builds and then eventually add them all into one save and then just make all the sims and stuff, which realistically that's not gonna work. So there's gonna need to be some reassessing of the save file and the way that I do this, but don't worry, eventually I do still want to make a save file. It's not like I'm completely throwing the idea out of the door now that I'm uploading the things to the gallery. I still am going to do it with these builds and everything. It is just gonna take a very long time. Well, that's the hope at least. Of course, I'm not gonna be like, yes, I am most certainly gonna do this and then never do this and then everybody's gonna be sad. This is the hope. I hope that I will be able to make a save file for you guys and have all of these sims and stuff, because usually when I make a build, I do a little backstory and stuff. This house as well has a little backstory. The thing is, I also am gonna obviously play around when I put a got the official like save file and stuff, I'm gonna start putting it together and stuff. There might be changes to these stories. There might be like completely scratching some of these stories out of the like world and stuff, but I'm still gonna get to that. But this house is in Windenburg. I don't know exactly what area this is in, but this is in the area where I think that like mansion thing is. I can't remember what it's called, but that mansion that you sometimes can get invited to for some reason. I don't know. It's in that area. So it's on like this little hill with this nice little path going up to it. It's a really nice area, I have to say. I like it a lot. It's very, very pretty. But then this house isn't too big, but I do think it has a lot of like really nice luxury things. Like it has a little pool in the back. It's not a small house. It has these nice things outside, and there's a lot of planters, I have to say. At first I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna put a few around for some filler things, but then I was thinking, nah, maybe this sim really likes to grow like gardening things in their free time. They're not like a gardener. It's not like their full-time thing, but they really do like planting a few plants here and there. And when I say here and there, everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Now, before we get into the build and the story for this, I do have to mention that it is winter where I live. So currently it is very, very cold. And I just made myself a cup of coffee before starting this recording to heat myself up a little bit. So I am going to be taking sips of that in between. So if there's like any weird cuts and stuff in the audio, please just excuse that, because I'm just trying to keep myself warm. I'm freezing my little butt cheeks off, okay? So just excuse that. But let us get into kind of like the idea that I had for this and the story and everything that I thought of. So obviously in Windenburg, it is pretty, I would say, old builds. Like all of the builds seem like they might have been around for quite a while. Some of them look like they have been around for decades upon decades upon decades. So like a really, really long time. And I wanted this build to have some semblance of that, but this house is definitely, it has been renovated. It's gonna get renovated. There has been work done to this house to make it much more modern. Obviously not insanely modern, like this is where, I don't know, Lady Gaga lives or something, I don't know. But it has been renovated, so like new flooring, new walls, like paint and stuff. They have added the addition of the little pool in the back. All of those like little things are definitely much newer. It's been renovated, but the original structure of the build is more or less the same. They've not really done too much around that, but yeah, I just like the idea that this like family has kind of renovated their little house over time, which I think is fun. But I want to talk a bit about the story that I had for this house. So the family that I am envisioning to live here consists of 3 Sims. We're gonna say that it is a single father. I say single, but I much prefer to say a widowed father, because he recently lost his wife. And I think it was in childbirth. Obviously, this isn't like a real thing that you can have in the game. I don't even know if this is a thing that you can have in the realistic childbirth mod, having the mother pass away during childbirth. But unfortunately, in real life, that is a very, very scary and very real thing that can happen. I don't know how often it happens, but it definitely can, I think. At least I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on this, but yeah, unfortunately it is something that I think at least happens, and I want that to be in this little family storyline. So now this father has, I think, either a teenager or a child. I decorated that bedroom to be kind of like you can use it for both, but I was more thinking maybe a tween, but again, obviously we do not have that, so I was just gonna add a teen to this family and add them into that room. So a father, a teenager. I do not know the gender of said sim yet. The room is pretty neutral. There's some pink, some blue, some green, some yellows. It's a pretty colorful room room actually. And yeah, I just did not think too much about the teen yet. So I'm kind of maybe think about something whilst I'm doing the rest of the storyline. Maybe something comes to me. But anyway, and then obviously the newborn baby. The baby did survive. It's a newborn. Like there is a crib in this house and everything. And then there's also a little nursery room with some more infant stuff in it. I didn't do too much like toddler stuff for this house. I didn't really care much about that, so there's not a lot of things to do for a toddler. But obviously if you download this house, you can add toddler things as the baby grows up. And obviously again, you do not have to follow the storyline if you download this house. You can do whatever you want with this. You can add a grandma and her 7 cats if that was what you wish to do with this house. Like, I don't care what you do whatever you want if you download this, but this is just my personal storyline that I was envisioning when making this house. But yeah, anyway, so this father to these 2 children, he is pretty loaded. In my opinion at least, this man has got money. Not like generational wealth like it has been in his family for 7 bajillion years and he's the richest man alive. And I don't know, it's not like insane wealth, but let's say in simoleons, he probably has at least 50k. Like, again, that's not too much realistically in The Sims, but just as saving, spending money, it is a lot. If you want to build a house, it definitely isn't. But for this Sim, he has like 50k just in the bank, just chilling. He's making more money as he goes, you know, and he's also recently renovated his house. So the guy is loaded, okay, but not like insanely loaded like I mentioned. But anyway, so he is a very, very busy guy. I'm envisioning like maybe he's in a pretty boring corporate job, but he's in a like higher position. I don't know like any business terms. I wouldn't say he's a CEO, maybe to a smaller company, not like a giant corporation or anything, but he is making pretty good money, but he's also extremely, extremely busy, meaning that he does not get the time to take care of his children as much. He was kind of relying on his wife to do that as a stay-at-home mom, but obviously she is no longer, unfortunately, in the picture. So now he has to hire nannies and maids and even gardeners because his load has been so much bigger to like what he has to do and what he has to work on. So he can't even take care of his garden anymore because, as I mentioned in the beginning, somebody here loves gardening and it was gonna be him. Like I imagine this like extreme corporate what am I saying? Oh my goodness, corporate guy. Like he is, I imagine like full tuxedos, suits, like maybe not a tuxedo, but like suits, ties, you know, all that jazz. That's like his regular day-to-day style because he's so busy going to work almost every day. And then he comes home and he takes care of his little like roses and his tulips and whatever, everything else. Like he loves his little garden. And I thought that was so cute. But now, since the passing of his wife, he can't even really take care of his garden anymore. He has to hire some people to take care of his garden, take care of his kids, take care of his pets, everything, because he is so genuinely busy. And obviously his kids can't take care of themselves. The teenager can help a bit around the house, but obviously they have their own things to do as well. They have school, they have hobbies, all that jazz. So the father is kind of stuck in this little place where he has to get people to help him around. So I don't think they're rich enough to have a butler, but definitely maids and gardeners and like a bunch of things like that. I think realistically it would be cheaper to just get a butler in The Sims at least than hire all of these different services. But for the storyline purposes, he's getting a bunch of other things rather than a butler. But yeah, so his life has been really, really tough since the passing of his wife. And obviously he has to also sit with the grief of losing his wife. And there's also a lot of mementos around the house that reminds him of his wife, because I think that this woman was a painter. She absolutely loved to paint. I don't think it was her full-time job. Like I said, I think she was more a stay-at-home mom, and she more so like wanted to just care for her children. Well, child at the time. She unfortunately never got to meet the other one. That's so morbid. I am so sorry. sorry, but yeah, anyway. But when she was at home, she would like paint and stuff because this was like a little hobby of hers. So a lot of the paintings around the house, I'm imagining, is painted from her. I also got off the gallery like a few like actual paintings that your Sims can paint in the game, and I placed those around the house. So I'm imagining that maybe she painted those, and now again that's just another memento for him to remember his wife by, which is bittersweet because obviously it's a loving little memory, but it's so sad because she's no longer with them. It's so morbid. The story is so sad, and I feel so terribly bad for this poor man. But yeah, I just think it makes a good storyline as well, and it is something a little different. I don't think I've done anything this like kind of sad before for a storyline in this. I could be wrong though. Sometimes my brain works in mysterious ways. I need to drink some coffee. Hold on, give me a second. For you, it's gonna be like a millisecond. For me, it's gonna be at least 4. Okay, it was more than 4 seconds, mainly because I drank a lot of the coffee because it's starting to get cold, and I hate it when my coffee gets cold. I loved iced coffee, don't get me wrong. If it's a little iced coffee with some ice and stuff, I love that, obsessed. Actually like that more than normal coffee. But if I'm drinking a hot coffee, I do not want it to get cold. If it gets cold, I no longer am interested in it, like, at all. I hate it when it gets cold. It's like a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I know my boyfriend, for example, he likes to drink it cold. If it gets, the colder the better. Okay, maybe not like the colder the better, but if it's not like scalding hot, he's fine. He wants to drink it even if it's like more cold than hot, like it's a really low temperature, and I don't know, to me that's wild. I cannot do that. Anyway, I'm talking about coffee when I should be talking about the build. But yeah, like I said, I did not really think much about the teenager for this. So yeah, that story I can still work on a little bit. But of course, realistically, if I think about it, this teenager would now have more responsibilities given that there's a newborn in the house now. And yeah, he's not really going to be able to have as much freedom. I say he, but it could be a she as well. Like I said, I've not made this family yet, and I've not thought too much about this teenager, but I do think that they might be into gaming a little bit. They might be into, like, you know, maybe making YouTube videos and stuff eventually. This is not something they're doing now. I didn't give them like an insane PC setup or anything. They have a tiny desk in their room, and it's like tucked into a little corner. But it could be the start of a passion. I don't know. This could be the storyline that I would go for this. But of course, they would now have to be a little bit more giving and give some time to their newborn baby sister. This is, yes, I did think the baby was going to be a little girl. So I don't know. I'll think more about the teenager's story, maybe add it into the description of this family once they are eventually like in my save file and whatnot. But I don't know, I just feel so bad for this family losing their mom like that and everything. But yeah, I've been rambling so much just about the family that I've not spoken pretty much anything about the build. We are almost completely done with the downstairs area. We have the kitchen, the living space, which has a nice bar in it. I wanted there to be a cute little space. Maybe the wife was into hosting a lot, so they really wanted to maximize their hosting abilities by adding in the bar as well, which now I don't know how much they're going to be hosting because, yeah, like I keep saying, very sad, very morbid. Anyway, they also have the dining space with a really nice table, a lot of chairs, and then this really nice like desk space with a really nice computer. And I think maybe, if I'm thinking about it now, thinking about the fact that the gaming and stuff is like really nice for the teen, maybe they like sneak some games onto this PC because it's so much better than the one they have upstairs. Then maybe they like in the middle of the night come and play like games here. Like, I don't know, what's something new and exciting? Maybe the Baldur's Gate. I don't know. That's not new, but it is exciting. I do want to play that game still, but my PC have not been really able to run that. So I am thinking about getting a new graphics card soon. So hopefully once I do that, I will be able to. Speaking about that, if there are any like other games that you guys would like to see me play, like Baldur's Gate, for example, things like that, if I do get a new graphics card, I will be able to play those types of games on like my YouTube channel as well. So if you guys have any like games like that you want to see, like Baldur's Gate, maybe even some more Planet Zoo, maybe even GTA. I do want to play GTA. I don't know about the newest one. I don't know how well that's gonna run, but GTA 5, I can definitely run that. I can run it now, but then it will be so much better once I get the new graphics card. So I don't know if you guys want to see that. I've not ever played the actual story of that, so I wouldn't mind doing that for you guys. I don't know, I'm starting to ramble so much. I feel like these building videos are my time to go wild with my rambling. Like, I get to say so many things that I normally in another video wouldn't even be able to like say or even think about, because I'm thinking about the things that are like happening in the video. But I feel like I've said everything that I needed to say for this video so far. I don't know, I feel like I really am rambling a lot. If I start speaking like so fast and so many like thoughts come to my head, I feel so bad for a lot of you guys, because I feel like I'm talking too fast and I have to like kind of slow down a little bit. But there are so many things that I want to like say and get my point across and stuff. So I don't know, if I'm talking too fast and it's a little bit hard for you guys to like keep up with me, please let me know. Also, I just had coffee, so that is definitely not helping me at all. But yeah, we are now in the parents' bedroom, and as you can see, there was another bathroom there, as well as the hallway, which I did not include in this speed building process, because personally I feel like hallways and bathrooms are a little bit boring and repetitive. So they will be included in the screenshots. I am adding a bunch of screenshots to the end of this, so you will be able to see them and get glimpses of them like in the speed building process. But I didn't show the full process because again, it is just kind of repetitive and boring. I don't want to show the same thing a bajillion times. But yeah, so this is the main bedroom. I wanted it to look like, again, this has been lived in. It's not too sad at this point, at least, because the mom was obviously still alive and here and took care of this area and stuff. But yeah, now they have maids to do that. But yeah, I just feel like this house and everything has a lot of story and stuff, and I will obviously expand on it a bit more when I'm going to do my save file. I don't know, I just feel like there's so many things to think about when you're doing something like this. I also added a crib like right near the bed, because I thought, like, this dad is gonna wanna like take care of his baby, like extra care, given that it's all he has now, and their other child, of course, but like the baby's like new, you know, new and exciting stuff. Haha. That's bad. That's not good. Anyway, that is pretty much everything for this build for today. There is still gonna be the teenagers room, but it's gonna go by so fast. There's like a minute left of this speed build, so I'm gonna say what I want to say now before I have no time left. Like I mentioned, there is screenshots at the end of this, and also you guys can download this build. I know I said it in the beginning, but it's so exciting for me. This is the first time that I've actually said it in a video, like, go ahead and download my build. Yes, I know, that's so crazy. I should have done it a long time ago, but I really was so stuck on the idea of having an exclusive save file. But here we are. Oh, I see now that the computer I added into this room was literally just a tablet. That makes the fun idea of the sneaking games onto the downstairs PC so much more fun. I actually like that a lot. Anyway, like I was saying, that's gonna be everything for today. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider liking and subscribing to my channel, as it really does help me out. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will most certainly see you guys in another video. Also, if you guys have any like specific builds that you would like to see in the future, definitely let me know, because I have been in a little bit of a building mood recently. But before I ramble on anymore, goodbye everybody.